welcome back. It's Janelle from Infinite Potential Healing. And today I wanted to chat a little bit about what makes me so different, why I am a different type of reader, why I am a different type of medium. And yes, I do both readings and mediumship work. I also do other energy work in my practice. You can go check out my website, see all of the fun, cool, crazy things that I offer, and maybe even book something there. But the way that I am different as a reader is that I have always focused on being a relationship-based practitioner. And what I mean by that is I truly love my clients. I love to connect with my clients. I feel so strongly that the abilities that I have and all of the training that I've had are a gift, a huge blessing from the universe. And I have a responsibility to use those gifts to help other people and to really, help myself to grow myself and my own identity. And I always want to meet my clients in a space of relationship, not just a relationship in terms of I'm the reader and they're the client. That's not the vibe I have at all. I truly love my clients. I really want them to be successful. I want to empower them. And at the end of the day, I really believe that there are two types of readers, two types of practitioners, really just two types of people. There are the type of person who tries to or wants to hold power over their clients or over others in their life. And then there's a type of practitioner who really wants to empower their clients and the people in their lives and leave them better than they found them. And that is the practitioner that I strive to be. I don't ever want anybody feeling like I am on some kind of power trip or trying to hold power over my clients. That is not my vibe at all. First of all, I don't want that fucking responsibility. That's a big no thank you from me. I'm good having responsibility for my own life and all of the things that I'm actually responsible for. I certainly don't want to try to have responsibility over anybody else. But I tell every single one of my students when they take a class with me that I legitimately cannot wait until they outgrow me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And that holds true for all of my clients as well. I don't want them to be dependent on me. Yes, I love my clients. Yes, I want to know what's going on in their lives. I want to make that connection. I love the updates that I get from my clients. They're never bothering me. I'm always so excited when I get to share and hear your successes. But I really don't want my clients to have to be dependent on me. I want them to be able to make connection with spirit, with their loved ones in spirit. I want to act as a facilitator, as a teacher, to help them learn how to tap into and process their intuition and make connections, even with their loved ones in spirit. And because of that, I am a little bit different, or a lot of bit different, depending on how you want to look at it, as a medium, because I think a lot of mediums that are out there are mediums who are evidential mediums. And what I mean by that is they will connect to your loved ones in spirit and they will give you evidence that they are actually connecting to your loved one. And that evidence may come in the form of a trait that your loved one had, a saying that they said all the time, a song, something that they're wearing that is very typically how they dress, a memory that that loved one in spirit is able to offer that the medium can then share with the client so that they know for certain that they are in fact connecting with their loved one. And I can certainly understand the value of evidential-based medium, and please don't think that I am bagging on evidential-based mediums at all, because that is not what I'm doing. I have the utmost respect for anyone who does mediumship work because it's a lot of space to hold for other people. But the way I approach my mediumship sessions is not from an evidential standpoint. First of all, I just don't feel like I have anything to prove. I know I'm connecting to your loved ones in spirit, and I know that something is going to come through and come up in the session that is going to put that stamp on it so that you know it too for certain. So I don't lean into the evidential proof that I am connecting to that person. Rather, I lean into helping my client facilitate a relationship with their loved one in spirit, because the relationship that you had with your deceased loved one doesn't have to vanish or evaporate once that person is no longer in a physical body on the earth plane. When your loved one in spirit is in the inner planes, then it's simply a matter of learning how to connect with your loved one in spirit in a different manner, because instead of both of you being on the earth plane, you've got one of you on the earth plane and one of you on the inner planes. So we need to bridge that gap so that we're both speaking the same language and we both know how we're connecting with the other. And so that's what I strive to teach my clients to do in a mediumship session. So, yes, I will absolutely help you make that connection. Yes, I am going to give you proof, if you will, although I don't like the term. It gets icky and sticky for me, just has kind of a low vibration to it. But I'm going to prove to you that I am actually talking to your loved one in spirit. But more than that, I feel the biggest value of my work, the most important thing that I can do, is teach you how to continue that connection with your loved one in spirit from the earth plane to the inner planes, so that you can connect with them, you can talk with them, you can experience them when you're outside of my office, my space, when you're outside of our session together. That is what I always strive to do and aim to do in all of my sessions. And there's a little bit of that same purview in all of my readings too, because my readings are very much focused on helping you get from where you are to where you want to be, and using spiritual action steps that come from spirit and come through spirit for you to be able to do that. So there is obviously a big point of connection that happens in any of my readings as well. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about how maybe I'm slightly different, or more than slightly different than some other readers out there, but it definitely works for me. I love what I do. I love working with my clients. They're all pretty happy. It seems to work for them too. So if that's something that you want to explore, again, you can pop over to my website. You can always book through there. And I hope that you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about how I do things differently, because heaven forbid I fall in line even in this line of work.